Okay, hello everybody. I think we are live now. Give it a couple of seconds to kick in for everybody. And welcome to today's live. Well, we have no idea what we're going to talk about. Well, we have a few things, so I see somebody's already put up something to discuss, and we will discuss that actually, Monkey Man. So we'll just wait to see that everything has kicked in. And I just want to check on my monitor. We're going to talk about. Yeah, everything is there. You should be able to see us, and you should be able to hear us. So, welcome everybody, as I said, and let's see who's here. Brenda, you're the first one on today, Brenda. Hope you are both recovering quickly from COVID. Well, we are recovering quickly. Not sure, but today's been a good day, so that's a good thing. We'll talk more later. Barb is here. Hello, Barb. Inez is here. Donna. Katie Crafts. Stephanie is here. Hi, Stephanie. Jean E is here from Sunny Bay area, California. It was sunny today here for a while. Now it's raining.
19.
In 19,
it's warmish.
It went to 21 earlier.
It was, yeah.
So that's a good sign. That's like spring weather. Landa is here. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. Suzanne. Charlotte, Russ is here. I hope you're all having a wicked awesome day. Okay. Sue Norfleet is here. Hello, Sue. And Lori. Lori, have you been here live before? I don't know. Forgive me if I have forgotten. But that's not me. I'm going to blame it on COVID brain. Yeah. In fact, that's a good excuse from here on in for a while. COVID brain. Yeah. Pamela is here from Minnesota. Dana, there's Dana. Welcome back to Canada, eh? Yeah, eh. Heather is here. Elsa is here. So we got lots of people here. Billy's here. Hi, Billy. Linda Patton from Orton, Ontario. Where is Orton?
I'm not sure.
Where's Orton, Laura?
I used to know where all the municipalities were when I worked, but I've never heard of Orton.
I wonder if they give a hoot.
Orton here's a hoot.
Yeah. And Lori says it's her first time. Okay, great, Lori. Glad that you've come here. You may never come back after today. Who knows? So Walter's looking up madly where Orton, Ontario is.
I'm interested.
Inquiring minds want to know because we have never been to Orton. Is it worth the drive? You have quilt stores in Orton?
Where is it? Oh, it's near Fergus.
Oh, up in that end of the woods. Oh, okay. Should have known that. Since I lived for 4 years in Guelph when I was going to university, because I went to the University of Guelph. But anyways, so worth the drive to Orton. Learn something new every day. Okay, so as you know, yes, we have both came home from Australia, and once we got in the door, the next day we had COVID. I had it pretty severe, I guess, because the dot went very dark. In fact, after Walter made me do the COVID test, he comes back up, yep, you've got COVID, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it was a real dark line.
Yeah. So I took the last of my antiviral meds yesterday morning. That was when they ran out. I had 5 days worth of that, 3 pills in the morning, 3 pills in the evening. And yeah, so I still have some congestion. Not severe, but one of those kind of things.
So you're feeling kind of better, right?
Yeah, actually today I'm feeling the best I have felt since I got this thing, to the point where I was able to do stuff.
So far, not good. I haven't had cough, but I have been stuffed up in my sinuses and stuff. So
yeah, hello Melissa. So anyways, yeah, I would say I'm on the road to recovery. I'm saying that with a minimum of optimism, because with COVID, you don't know. I've heard of people who were feeling great and then suddenly it all relapsed again. So I'm hoping that's not what's going to happen. I've had more energy today. I didn't want to just lay down on the couch and rot all day. I did get some things done, so that's a good thing as well. So, yep, hopefully, I'm on the mend. So, yeah, thanks for asking, everybody. And thanks for sending your fond wishes for our good health as well during this week. A lot of you wrote comments like that. And
well, at least we didn't get it when we went over there.
No, that's right. Yeah. So, who else has joined us now? Yes, it is a horrible feeling, and as when you were told you have COVID, because, you know, especially right now when we thought the bulk of this thing was over with, but it just goes to show you this little disease is with us. So yeah, keep up your booster shots, people. Jan's here. Hi, Jan. And Jenny. Why do I have trouble with G-I-N-I?
Ginny.
Gladys is here. Okay.
Think of gin with an I.
Gin.
Gin. You know,
gin,
the drink.
as the drink. Jenny. Jenny. I don't know. You know why? Because Jeannie. And I want to immediately say Jeannie. And it's not Jeannie. I know that. But, okay. Gladys. Gladys is here. Monkey Man says, I was able to watch the video of Stephen and Sean. Great videos of the two of my favorite quilters. Oh, you just flatter me, don't you, Monkey Man? What do you want? What do you want? You can have anything at this point. Dubrovka says, watching from Timmins. Oh. Imagine Timmins. I haven't looked at the weather, see what Timmins is like lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it's warmer than
west. I used to know a few people that lived in Timmins that I used to work with. Used to come down every once in a while.
And Linda Green is here from Michigan. Yes, Linda, we just said that we are feeling better. Thank you very much. And Laurel from Hawaii is here as well. Aloha, all she says.
Well, Timmins is 7.
Well, it's not that. Well, yeah, it is. We're at 18. Sorry for that, Dubrovka.
Well, it's probably warm for them anyway. So.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, could be. We have never been to Timmins.
No, I can't say I have.
We've been Timmins is further than
Timmins, yeah.
Is further than Thunder Bay, isn't it? Isn't, or is Timmins before you get to Thunder Bay? Because we've been to Thunder Bay many years ago. It was on our first trip when we were traveling out west by car. We went to Thunder Bay. Wow. I can highly recommend that you just keep going.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So many things have changed a little bit over time. But anyways. Okay, so what I've been working on? Not a heck of a lot. Because when you have COVID brain, you sit there and you stare at something you're working on and you try to think about, what is this? What am I doing? Where am I?
Well, Timmins is sort of in line with Thunder Bay.
Oh, is it?
Only it's way over. It's landlocked.
Oh, okay.
It's straight up.
Oh, straight up. Yeah. I knew it was somewhere up in that end of the woods. That's for sure. Timmins, Suzanne says Timmins is 101. Do we know what that means?
No.
I love you people. I have missed your cryptic comments. Where you have to, yeah, I have COVID brain, okay? Don't expect me to
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what 101 means. Suzanne, tell us. What do you mean Timmins is 101? It's 3 hours south of Sudbury.
Oh, it's on 101.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a 101.
Yeah, well, you got to take 144 to 101.
You got to take what?
You got to take 144 from Sudbury.
And again,
to 101.
I didn't know there was a 144.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. You have to remember, we live in southern Ontario.
I mean, we drove to Thunder Bay, but we took Trans-Canada. We didn't go up to Timmins.
Yeah.
There's a summer trip. Let's go up to Timmins.
Oh, kill me now. I'm sure it's lovely in the summer. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, but we're too city-fied. Yeah, we admit to it. We make no bones about it, and we're not ashamed to say so. You know, if it's north of the 401, we'll get a nosebleed. So, yeah. Anyways, so what have I been working on? Well, if you saw Stephanie's live last night, I was on with Stephanie, and we have hatched a little plan to do a pattern that people voted on last night that come from the book that both of us happen to own, and a lot of others of you have bought it, called Table-tastic #2 by Doug Lico. There are actually 3 books in the series. We're in the middle book. It started with Stephanie getting it as in her monthly subscription box from Fort. What are they called? Fort. Help me, Stephanie. Fort Worth. Fort Worth Quilt Shop. Is that what it is? Anyways, and when I saw it when Stephanie was showing it, I thought, ooh, that's got some nice patterns. So I immediately went on Amazon, as one does, and purchased it. And it's got a lot of great patterns in it. Now, mind you, they're all designed as being tabletoppers or table runners. But Stephanie and I are going to extend it and make probably quilts from it. And we're going to do it together. But it's not going to be a live sew-along. We're going to pre-record the videos for each section of the block. We have decided, or you decided, the people who were there last night and voted, on the Churchill block. And we'll put the videos up as we get them done over the next couple of months. Now, the reason we're not doing it as a live sew-along is basically we're both really, really busy. And especially me, I cannot commit to saying, okay, once a week, this night, this time. So I'm more comfortable if we pre-record it. Then do it as a live. So that's what we decided to do. Now, what's it look like? Well, let me show you here, because I have done a sample block already, because I wanted to try it out before we got going too far in this project. So this is called the Churchill block. It is actually 20 inches square, and it's meant to be a table topper. I don't do table toppers. And Stephanie said last night she doesn't really do table toppers either, because it ends up her kids wear them as capes around the house. So I don't have that problem. Walter never ever puts one on and runs around like a superhero. At least not with a cape on. Whatever. So yeah, now this was not necessarily the colors I was going to do it in, but I think now I am, because his nibs over here said, ooh, he really liked those colors together. So I figured, hey, let's capitalize upon something he likes, so I don't have to listen to him tell me what's wrong with it and things like that later. So that is what we're going to be working on. So watch my channel, watch Stephanie's channel when we make the announcement as to when the first video will go up. And the other thing I'm making are these little round devices.
Suppositories.
They're suppositories, yes. I've been 3D printing suppositories. You know, for those of you who don't give a shit, here's something you can stick up your... No, these are a little bigger than a suppository. They are needle holders, you know, spent needle holders. And they screw off. The top part screws off, and it makes a nice little container. I gave one to Walter. And I'm making a bunch of these because I'm going to take them to the retreat in December to give to everybody that's there. So that's about as far as, or all I've been able to accomplish with COVID brain. So what's Walter been working on? What have you been doing with your COVID brain?
Income tax.
Oh, yes. Walter finished our income taxes.
And been trying to figure out how to fix my car.
Do tell. What's wrong with the car?
So, when we came home from when we came home from Australia, the car had been sitting out in the garage for a little over 3 weeks. We're like closer to 4 weeks almost. And it's a brand new car. So I thought, well, I didn't think that it would be any different than any other car. But since it's a brand new car, it has a whole bunch of electronics on it. and wouldn't you know, it drained the battery. So I came home to a dead car. So,
just as an aside note, though, my car, which has been banished to the driveway out of the garage when he got his
it has
new
no
car,
electronics on it.
it started right up. Just like that. Yeah.
So anyway, I wasn't sure what to do. So I phoned the dealership, and they suggested I call roadside assistance, which I have, and they came and boosted the car. So then after they boosted the car, I got 15 plus warnings coming up on my car, and my car wasn't working the way it was supposed to be. Right? It drove, but it has all-wheel drive, and only the front wheels were driving and other things, right? So I phoned them again, and they said, well, yeah, that should go away after a day or two, right? These warnings, right? Well, they didn't go away. I kept doing everything I could figure out what to do to try and get them to go away, and they didn't go away. So anyway, I had them book an appointment for me for Tuesday, and I went looking around on the internet, and finally I found a place that suggested to disconnect your battery for about 15 minutes, reconnect it again, and it would reinitialize the computer systems on it. So I tried that today, and lo and behold, that worked. So everything's back to normal on my car again. So I don't have to worry about that right now. And I can cancel my appointment at the garage. So,
But, okay. Wouldn't you think that when he called up Honda, told them what his problem was and the whole bit, you mean to tell me they didn't know that that's how you could fix it?
yeah, I think they could, but technically, a customer is not supposed to be changing their own battery, right? So,
Technically speaking, you own the fucking car.
yeah, I know.
They can take a flying leap off a long thing. They don't own it. You own it. Yeah. So, they lost their possession of the car the moment that you paid the money for it. So, yeah, they just want you to come in to do what they Honda and other dealerships are famous for.
Well, that's one thing that I don't like about taking that car in there is that they like to keep it all day.
Yeah. So
I have a brand new 2023 Honda CR-V hybrid.
Yeah.
And the only reason I have that is because last year I had a major car accident, and I had to get something to replace it.
Yeah, so that's why we have a hybrid. But knowing what you know now about a hybrid, would you buy another hybrid?
Well, actually, I don't know if it's necessarily hybrid specific, because if I had bought a regular one that has all the bells and whistles on it as well, it would have died too.
Okay,
because of all the electronic, the warning systems that are on it.
I don't understand these newfangled things. My cars are vintage.
If I had known all that, I would have tried to go for a basic model that has nothing.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's a relief to know that was, if it ever happens again,
I know what to do.
With it. So yeah. I'm just backing up here. Debravra says, "Come for a coffee. I'm paying." Why is it that people always want us to come for coffee?
Because they're in Timmins. Nobody else comes to them.
But why coffee? Don't you have anything stronger? I'm not a teetotaler. I'm more fun when I've had a couple of drinks. Maybe not.
I don't know. I think you pass out when you had a couple.
Okay, enough from you. Oh yeah, Stephanie says it's Fort Worth Fabric Studios. That's what I was trying to remember where the book came from. Charlotte missed the voting, but she'd love to pattern that one. That's good because we're not changing our minds. Elsa says, one does tend to go on Amazon after watching Stephanie or Steven. Yes, we are probably enablers, but we're not the only ones that are enablers. One of my main enablers is on here. Hi, Jan. Wicked Jan. Beverly's here. Hi, Beverly from Wilmington, North Carolina. Oh, Stephanie, I knew you'd like the colors. They're in your wheelhouse, too, since we both like the same colors. Seely says, oh, Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Hee Walter, I nearly choked on a Ruffles. Well, then you're doing it wrong. Jan likes the needle holder, so does Inez. Jan's writing in cryptic emoticons, which Celie does not understand emoticons. She doesn't do them. Now, Russ says the 12-volt battery being dead after a couple of weeks of non-use is normal for an EV. The warnings, though, it's like when Windows shuts down unexpectedly. What, blue screen of death?
Yeah. So it was suggested that if you unhook your app battery, it forces the internal computer to reboot.
To rethink? No. Jan says, good for you, Walter. My hubs has to reboot our vehicles when they get weird messages on them. He does the same thing. Okay. Seems like it's a common problem. Brenda says, our RAV4 is dead when we get back and Alan has to jump start it, then goes to the dealer and they charge the battery. It takes 4 hours.
Well, actually, I watched a video on YouTube last night of a guy that is a mechanic, and he suggests if you go away for a long period of time and you have a hybrid or something, to basically disconnect the battery.
Not just leave it on the trickle?
No, just disconnect it totally. And then reconnect it up when you start it up again.
Oh. Well, I suppose. It's not a bad idea. The only thing that, well, you were worried about the fact that maybe some of the electronic components, like the Apple Play and that, would have to be reset, but it didn't.
No. It may have had flash memory on it or something.
Or something, maybe. Or wine, the broker says. Okay, now we're talking, sweetie. With that. You always entice me with a little wine. Okay, so yeah, that's what Walter's been working on, and our income tax as well. The income tax deadline for us Canadians is April the 30th. We wouldn't have wanted done it too soon. And I ended up having to pay the same as I had to pay last year, which kind of ticked me off. You know, the government giveth and it taketh away.
That's because you got old age security last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got a full year of it last year.
I suppose. Well, yeah, but that still ticks me off because last year I had to pay about $2,300 to them because I had transferred my stocks from one account to
you had to take some out.
Yeah, I had to take them out.
Yeah, so then you got capital gains.
Yeah, okay, I was explaining that, but please, Walter Splain. Please, I am so blonde. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, and then this past year, you were getting old age security. And since you make too much money to begin with, you have to pay taxes on it.
Well, you know, I've told you, change your street corner. You'll get better clientele. They won't all be giving you a nickel for it all. But, yeah. So I had to pay again this year. So, and then funny, here's something really weird. We haven't quite figured it out. CRA.
Yeah,
Canadian,
we submitted the claim and then submitted the e-filed our taxes, and then CRA does an instant assessment and sends it back to you, and I sent it yesterday, April 27th, and the assessment came back and said, yeah, it's correct or whatever, and it's not obviously an automatic system, and but it was dated May 6th,
and it said there was $4 and something in arrears.
Yeah, meaning that I owed them interest because they've got a May 6th date on it,
which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
And so I went in onto my account with the government, and a similar thing. I owe $3 and something in arrears, but May the 6th, 2024.
It's not May the 6th, 2024.
So, yeah, guess what? They can take my $3.47 or whatever and stuff it up their batuka. So, you know, like, it's bloody nuts. I mean, it's not...
I have a feeling it's a glitch in their system.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Of course, you'd be on the phone for half an hour to figure this out or longer, and then you'd get, oh, yeah, just ignore that or whatever. Like, sorry. Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, I think for next year I'm going to start to earmark a certain amount of money every week into a little account called tax account. for it because, you know, I knew I'd have to pay, but I thought, oh, this year I'll pay less. No, apparently not. No. So because I get OAS for Americans is old age security, plus I get CPP, which is Canadian Pension Plan. You pay into the Canadian Pension Plan when you're working and stuff like that, and it's sort of matched by the employer and all that. The OAS, you don't pay really into it. Well, you do. It's called income tax with it. But they give you a check every month for a certain amount of money, and now they want it all back. Like, okay, no wonder senior citizens are eating cat food. Which I don't know if that's delicious or not. I've not really tried it lately. But, you know, sure, all these things. And we just had a budget, federal budget passed. And they were talking about how they're going to do things for seniors and all this stuff. There is no change in that. Smoke and mirrors. But it's government, right? That's what they do to us. They just screw us. Left and right. Chatty says, but blondes have more fun. True. I know it's white, possibly gray, but I consider it blonde. Yeah. Inez says, I had to pay as well. Hate that lost fabric money. Yeah, I know. That would have bought a lot of fabric. Katie Craft says, 1 year I got a letter from the IRS stating there was an error on my taxes. 2 pages later was a check for 97 cents. Stressed me out for that. And they actually sent you a check for 97 cents. I don't think our government would. They just figure, oh, well, it's 97 cents. That won't make or break you. Well, that's for sure. 97 cents isn't going to buy me anything in the grocery store these days. So, Colleen is here. Hello, Colleen.
She made her taxes.
I made a wee mistake and had to fix it before I stopped to join you all. Oh, okay. And Patricia's here. Hi, Patricia. So anyways, that's what Walter's been busy with. Screwing around with his car and screwing around with her taxes as well. So what's coming up? Well, sewing with Stephanie and Stephen as usual. We're back on track. Again, the links in the show notes below. My videos, and they will be on Stephanie's as well. So, and if you've never been to one and you're shy, get over it. There's nothing to be shy about. We're a very nice group. We only bite if you want us to. And if anything, your ego will go right out the window because you'll show us something and we'll all go, oh my God, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's better than sliced bread. And our mind would probably go, oh my God, what were you thinking? That's horrible. No, we wouldn't do that. But we're a very supportive group and we just have a good time. And we learn things. A lot of things. And not just things about quilting. We've learned that fish fart. Yes. We learned how blue cheese was made one time. We've learned, I don't know, all kinds of things. Everything from, you know, how to color your hair using a crayon to, you know, the right method for picking your nose. I mean, it's everything. You name it. We learn about it. So, yes, Dubrovka says, new budget is a joke. They're all jokes. All the budgets are a joke. They're like, and not a ha-ha joke. Joke as in, that's sad, that's painful, and that's going to hurt. Barb says, are you having CPP and OAS take off the taxes for your monthly payments? If not, you'll have to pay the taxes. Yes, I have CPP. I have 25% of whatever they pay me taken off at source, but I have not on the OAS. Didn't really think about that one, so I'm going to have to think about that as well. Problem is, they'll only take up to a certain amount off.
Well, you can increase what they take off your pension.
Yes, I can do that as well. You just hate the fact that I have a better pension than you, don't you? You always have to bring it up.
My pension does that too. I know. I took more.
But you always have picking at my pension.
Well, anyway,
picky. Let's just remember, I have 3
you pay
university
tax
degrees.
on your pension contributions to Canada. Not really. You get taken off your pay. So, sort of, you get a deduction in your
What do you pay tax on your pension contributions in Canada?
No. No. You
No,
don't pay
no,
tax.
no, no, we don't. No. Well, yes,
No.
we do. I pay tax on my pension. That's my income.
Yeah, you do, but you didn't to put it in.
Not at the time.
No, when you're
No,
when
no.
when they were making a they're asking about contributions.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. It actually came off of your pay, so technically you paid less tax because it came off your pay.
Yeah, okay.
When you,
I know, I understand. I got it. Okay, like duh. I just don't bother to think about it. Why should I? Why should I fill my pretty little head with insignificant information at this point in my life? No. COVID brain. Yeah, so whatever. Let's see here. Okay, so spring retreat. It's coming. It is coming. Less than a week. Next Saturday. Doors open at 7:30. Official welcome is at 9 a.m. I have 3 spots left, so if there's any of you last minute ones out there, you might still be able to get a spot if you so desire. However, don't try to register on the day of, because it's not going to happen. In fact, I think the latest I will take any more registrations will probably be Thursday. Well, not probably, will be Thursday. Okay. Thank you to everybody that's already registered and have sent in a picture for the show and share slideshow. I've been working on those. The deadline for that, if you have not yet sent your picture and you're planning to, it's an option. You don't have to do it. Is tomorrow night, Monday night, midnight. After that, I will not be accepting any more because I need time to get the whole slideshow together. So, you snooze, you lose. Heard me say that before. Some nice looking quilts, though, I can tell you, and the ones that I've seen so far. So next week, Wednesday, I will be sending out the agenda with some other information about how the day works. The links, the Zoom links for the cocktail party on the Friday night and for the retreat will be in that email, so watch your mailboxes for it. You'll need that link to get on. It is not a YouTube live. It is all Zoom. And when I talk about Zoom too, you do have to have a camera. You do have to have your camera turned on. We're not there to judge your hair or your makeup or what you're wearing. Do wear something, okay? Kind of goes without saying, but you never know. Why do I ask that you have your camera on? It's a security feature, okay? I'm dealing with, right now, 92, 93 people. And yeah, when somebody doesn't have their camera on, it kind of suggests that you may not be who you say you are. Now, I don't know how you would get on otherwise because my security's pretty good on this, but it's just an extra precaution. So you might want to check out your camera this week if you haven't used it in a while to make sure that it's working okay. All right. What else do I need to tell you about it? The Icebreaker Cocktail Party is the Friday night before, May the 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. What do we do at that? Anything we want to. Bring your favorite beverage, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, bring a snack. And for a couple of hours, we're just going to have sort of a meet and greet with everybody that's there. If you would like to show something, a favorite project or something like that you've made in the past, bring it along. We'd love to see it. And I have a couple of fun little videos I'm going to play for you too. The whole point of the Icebreaker Cocktail Party is actually in the name of it. It is an icebreaker because you probably don't know everybody that is coming. You may know some of the people, but not all of them. And there's a lot of new people coming to this. It's their first time doing a virtual retreat with me. So it's just a way to make you feel a little bit more comfortable when we actually have the retreat. Also, it's an opportunity for you to ask questions about procedure and things like that. And I will be going over procedure details as well. Now, in that email I'm sending out to you, there will be some links to YouTube videos that show you how to use whatever device you are planning to connect to the Zoom links with, how to use that. Okay. Now, those links are a little bit old. They still are in operation because I checked them, but Zoom has made a few changes since those particular videos may have been put up. But for the most part, the fundamentals of how to use it are still the same. And it's only the fundamentals you need. You do not need to know how to do a webinar or a breakout room or all the other very many business features that Zoom offers, because we won't be using any of those. We're just basically turn it on, know how to turn on your camera, know how to turn on your mic, know how to mute yourself. And that's got it. Pretty much nothing else you need to know. So like I said, there's some links to things on YouTube that will help you out, because I use a Mac, so I know how it works on a Mac, and I do use an iPad occasionally too, and for the most part I pretty much know how to use the iPad with it. And I do have an iPhone and might be able to figure it out, but I don't have any Samsung or
Android
devices. I haven't got a clue. Mind you, we have a few people who are regulars to Zoom things that I hold who do know how to use those things, and I know they always are willing to help out somebody. But best just to, check your technology before the day of, because you don't want to have technology get in your way. And it has a way of doing that sometimes. So yeah. That's coming up this Saturday. We're going to have prizes. There's going to be Amazon gift certificate prizes. There's going to be free pattern surprises as well. We have 3 presentations. Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches has a brilliant presentation she's doing. Shannon of Slay Arts also has a really brilliant presentation on foundation paper piecing. And Adam of Adam Sews, I think, is going to have a presentation, but I haven't seen it yet. He's keeping me in suspense about that one. So yeah, 3 presenters. I'm sure you know all 3 of these people as well, and you won't be disappointed. So yeah, lots of opportunity to have lots of fun, get some stuff done, and you also are going to get a free pattern. My second pattern will be available to you. In that email that comes out, there is a link to my Google Drive where you'll be able to download it for free. You people are getting it first. After the weekend, I'm going to open up that pattern, still free, for anybody else who would like it as well. We're not doing it as a sew along or anything like that. You can work on whatever you want to work on at the retreat, but that is going to be available for you. A little gift from me to you. And everything, absolutely everything, is free. Okay? So there's no catches here. Not going to ask you for any money or anything like that. Nope, don't operate that way. It's all free. And you're probably saying, why? Because I like doing it. I have fun. If I'm having fun, well, you can't put a price on fun. You just can't. Okay, so let's catch up here. What people saying. Dana says, have a wonderful spring fling sewing. I'm going to be in the craft fair all day. That's right. I knew, Dana, that you said you wouldn't be able to make it because you're at the craft fair. Well, I hope you make lots of money at the craft fair. Baz Jones says, thanks for the info. Well summed up. Walter, so like in the UK, you pay on your actual pensions. They get you whatever. Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have, everybody has their system all where it's different countries.
Yeah.
So
the bottom line is the government's going to take it away, because that's what the government does best.
Yeah, I know. It's when they pay you back your pension, that's when you have to pay income tax depending on how much you get.
Yeah. So, yeah. But you see, our government needs the money desperately because, We have so many people living on our streets and refugees coming here without any shelter, home, or food, or jobs, and they want to make sure that they can provide for all those people. No, they don't.
Yeah, we have to support car thieves.
We have to support the car thieves. We have to support everybody over in war-torn countries in the world, but we let our homeless people suffer and die on our streets in Canada. Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, right. Lori says, how do you sign up for the retreat? All you have to do is send me an email, Lori, with your first and last name and your email address that you wish to be contacted at, and you're signed up. I send you back a confirmation. It's simple as that. You will find my email address in the About section. There's a link actually in the show notes to the About section, and my email address is in there.
What, the About section?
The About section. Yes, the About section. Faith's here. Hi, Faith. Yeah, well, you're late again, Faith. What have we said about that? Don't make me come to your house and slap you around. Barb says, did you receive an increase on your CPP on April 26th?
I don't know.
I don't. I just saw my CPP.
I don't know. I have to look.
I'll have to look. I don't know. Usually I thought you got an increase on CPP every year in January.
I think they do it during the year too.
Oh, okay. I have to check that out, Barb. Monkey Man says, it's sad I cannot make the retreat. I volunteer every Saturday at a thrift shop that helps support our very small New Hampshire town. Okay, well, what do you want me to say about that? Good for you. That's very nice of you to do such a thing. If I'd known in advance, I could have. No, I wouldn't have. Not much in this world for free. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so don't think there's anything else to tell you about the retreat. Future projects. Well, got to redesign Lucy's room. Keep saying that. Actually, I was going to start on that sort of this week, but got COVID, so that didn't help. And I have to figure out where I'm going to put all the crap that I got to get out of there, so I can have space. And I want some new Alex drawers to fit underneath Lucy, which will save me some space as well, because I can put all my backing fabrics and everything under there. That'll be nice. But you know, one thing leads to another, and I need to declutter in here. You need to declutter too and reorganize your room. Oh.
Yes, I know.
What color's the carpet in your sewing room?
Beige.
Oh, how do you know?
Same color as in here.
Well, I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, well.
Walter's idea of organization or storage is floor. Yeah, there it goes, floor. Yeah. Faith is grooming her dog.
What are you grooming it for?
Yeah, is it taking it out? You going for dinner or what? Yeah, and they think we groom children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Melissa says, sorry you two caught COVID. Yep, thanks, Melissa. Ingrid says, oh, the farting fish was hysterical. Yeah, I know. We learned so much on a sew day. Elsa says, I'm growing out of my sewing space too. This summer, I'm moving into the main area of the basement, and my sons are not too happy about it. Too bad, so sad. It's your house, so they can
come out.
Yeah, kick them out. It's time they got out there and got jobs anyways, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so now somebody asked earlier when we first came on about doing an AccuQuilt tutorial. Well, if you saw So Chatty this week, we were talking about creating another couple of series. We did that whole series on machine embroidery, and people seem to like that. So we are going to do a series on using your AccuQuilt. Now, that's as well I can tell you about that right now, because I have some ideas in my head, but I need to sit down and make my overall plan so that I can make sure I make sense out of things. I'll probably start with the whole concept of an AccuQuilt when it comes to quilting and for fabric cutting. We'll probably do a thing on dyes, the different sizes of dyes, the different types of dyes, because there are different types of dyes, how to use the dyes efficiently to cut down on the major on waste and cutting your fabric the right way with it. One of the biggest criticisms that people have of AccuQuilts are the waste of fabric. Well, yes, there is more waste with an AccuQuilt than there is when you do it the conventional way for cutting, but there are methods you can use to minimize the amount of waste as well. Also probably talk about when and when not it's appropriate with a pattern to use your AccuQuilt. For example, I was checking out which AccuQuilt dies I could use with the Churchill block that I already showed you. And I discovered that really there was no advantage for that particular pattern to using the AccuQuilt dies. So AccuQuilt is not a cure-all for everything. There are times when it works very efficiently. There are other times when it's not appropriate to use it. So I'll be talking about that. We'll also look at some of the things that AccuQuilt builds into their dies to help you sew things together straight and accurately. And so, yeah, I have to take all those things I've been talking about right now. Oh, yeah, the different models of AccuQuilts, the baby one up to the studio size one. And, from manual, the advantages of manual and electric over the other. And there are some disadvantages to the electric machines. It's not, because they're electric doesn't necessarily mean that they are better. It depends on some other circumstances. So all of those are things that I want to organize into a series. So watch for that. I'm hoping I can get started with the first one in the series next week on Chatty episode, and figure out how to have Walter more involved in it. He has used the AccuQuilt. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's coming up. So, the other series I want to do, but I have a somewhat reluctant participant, but he's going to do it. God help me. As God is my witness, he will do it. Walter does Lucy, is what I'm going to call it. He's got that African quilt that you finished a long time ago, the top. It's time to get it quilted. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a series on from the beginning to the end of a project using your long arm. So Walter will have to learn how to put it on Lucy the proper way, and how to set up the quilt path. That's the computerized system for doing it, how to pick a pattern for it, all these good things with it. There will be unintentional humor in this, I am sure, because it'll come down to Walter and I yelling at each other about it, because Walter does not take instruction well. No, he does not. Especially doesn't take instruction well from me. So, yeah. So that should be lots of fun. Hang on for the shenanigans, as they say. So, yeah, that's stuff that we're planning and coming up. Something else I'm planning to do, and I've got a little bit of a mixed feeling about it, but I think it's time. You know that I produce 4 videos a week. We have this one, the live. We have So Chatty on Fridays. I have the Idiot Quilter on Tuesdays. And on Mondays, I have my vlog. And I am thinking now that this week, Monday, tomorrow, will be my last vlog. Here's why. The history of the vlog. I started my YouTube channel in 2012, right after I retired. And at the time, I was a scrapbooker and a paper crafter. And I started doing videos that were short, little, showing you what I made kind of things. And one day I decided that those would become sort of a vlog, where I would talk about what I had bought that week in crafting, what I had done that week in crafting. I think the original vlog was about 7 minutes long, and I did it on my iPad, kind of a thing. And it grew over time. And I had different segments, as you know, and that kind of thing. But I don't do paper crafting anymore. So the vlog starts to take on a new bend. It became something a little bit more of a collection of what's been going on in the last week, things like that. Talking about travel, talking about our grow lights, talking about my 3D printer, talking about other projects. Now, there was some overlap with Idiot Quilter when I started to talk about projects, because now I'm principally a quilter. So, you know, what I tried to do was tease you by showing you a couple of things that I had done that week or had finished, but then on Idiot Quilter talk about those same things in a little bit more detail, in a more instructional kind of manner with it. Well, since we've been away and come back, I'm just pulling at straws trying to figure out what to talk about on the vlog. That isn't just dribble. I was waiting for the eyes to roll. So was everybody else when I said that. You set him up, but he doesn't fall down. So anyways, I mean, there's segments I can't really do right now. I was doing a segment about the weather. Boring. Besides, there's enough people on here on the lives that tell me the weather wherever they are anyway, so why do I need to do a weather report? I didn't have any projects because I've been away to show. I did a segment on I'm having COVID brain. Oh, on travel. And I was showing you old video clips from our past trips to Australia. Well, you're Australian to death. And I thought of showing you some older trips, like when we went to China and that. But then I realized something. Those are just pictures. They're not video. Because
I have some video.
Oh, do you? Yeah, whatever. I'm not doing it now. But, you know, other people's travel pictures, you know, bore you to tears. You know, I think everybody's been to a dinner party at least once in their life where someone gets out the slide projector. Well, I'm now speaking about last century, and shows you all their slides from their latest trip. And you're going, oh, isn't that nice? Give me another drink. I need a lot to drink to get through that. I was talking about the grow lights. Well, right now, nothing's under the grow lights because Walter gutted them to get rid of the bugs while we were away. And we haven't got around to, and when I say we, I mean Walter, haven't got around yet to replanting them. And I mean, after a while, it's, oh, look, more lettuce. So, you know, that's kind of boring too. So I think it's done its time. I think it's time to shut the book on that. I am going to take some of the components from the vlog, like the 3D printing, because people tell me they're still interested in that. So I'm going to add that as a segment into the Idiot Quilter. And I may add, I do review different video clips that I have found interesting in the past week. And I think I'm going to incorporate that into the Idiot Quilter as well. And every now and then I might, you know, if we get something growing in our gardens and that, I'll talk maybe a little bit about those too. So the Idiot Quilter is going to primarily be about quilting and sewing, yes, but may have a couple of extra features, so it'll all be one package. And that's the way I'm going to go with it now. So I don't think anybody's going to be all that disappointed if I don't do the vlog anymore. I mean, many of you watch it, and I thank you for doing that, but let's face it, it's done its time. So, yeah, that's the plan there. Okay, what are people saying here? Cases tells me he'll create a sewing studio for me. Maybe someday he will. Oh, this is Kay's husband. Okay. What is the blue light? Faith says on the AQ, go big. Oh, okay. If you get the blue light, it means there's an error. It means that your sandwich that you put through it is too thick, so don't try forcing it. Or sometimes the blue light will go off if your dye, while you're setting it up, you get a little too close. It's not actually going in the machine, but there's a little eye in there, a sensor that detects that, and that's why it's going. You just don't worry about it. Or your whole hand has been sucked into the machine and it's smashing your fingers down. That blue light will go off for that too. So it's just an error warning. Now to turn it off, just turn off your machine, turn it back on, and it's gone. If it doesn't go off, if it's constantly going and you can't get it off, it means there's something busted. And now you're effed. Okay? So, but really, do heed the blue light. If you're pushing in your dye and you've got too thick, it's supposed to be able to cut 6 layers of fabric, but I have found it depends on certain fabrics. Some fabrics it can't cut 6 layers. And when you first push it in, it'll probably try to reject it. If it's too thick, it'll automatically back up and push your dye back out. Don't try forcing it in. You will bust the rollers. So the blue colored dot on there, the light, that's your warning. So heed it. Melissa says, why don't you want to, Walter? About your quilting.
I'm just procrastinator.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'll yell at me. I'll go, I think you should get down there right now. Lucy's waiting for you. Let's get that quilt on. Let's go, 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 go. And I'll say, fuck off. I'm not doing it now. Just leave me alone. That's what he says. Go away. That's his favorite expression. Go away. He's a mean son of a bitch. Charlotte says, my sister and I did a test to see which method resulted in the most waste. We were both doing the exploding heart quilt. I used my Aki quilt and she hand cut hers. Waste was almost the same. Yeah. It's not major, the waste.
Well, when you're cutting fabric, there's always some waste.
Yeah, there's always going to be some waste. But there are some people that get so uptight, about it. Ooh, wasting all that fabric. Waste happens. It does.
Try doing garment sewing. You have tons of waste.
Yeah. Andy says, I miss hearing about the non-quilting things going on, but I certainly understand why you want to stop doing the Monday vlog. Yeah. Yeah, you'll still hear things. You'll still hear things. Because I will put certain things in, something happens during the week or something. I will share it on the Idiot Quilter one. And plus, we usually talk about all that stuff here on the live as well. So, yeah. What about the pissing me off segment? Well, you want to know something? That'll probably come out without it being a section. With me anyways. It is sometimes hard for me to come up with something like that. And to be honest, I don't want it always to sound like I'm complaining. The What's Pissing Me Off segment actually started because those of you that are Canadians will know who Rick Mercer is. Rick Mercer on his show that used to come on CBC used to do his rant about something. And I forget my very first one, and I don't remember what it was about. It ended up being like a Rick Mercer rant, whatever. And I got thinking, well, I can't call it a rant because Rick Mercer already has the corner on that. So that's why I called it What's Pissing Me Off. And I might still do something like that, but it'll be in the IQ part. It might even actually be a little bit more geared towards quilting as well. Because there are certain things in quilting that piss me off. Like people. But yeah.
Like comments on here.
Yeah. Celia Lynch says, I'll miss it though. Yeah. And also, to be kind of honest about it, it takes up a lot of time to do 5 videos in a week or 4 videos in a week. And I'm not sure if the return on the vlog is worth the effort with it. We'll see. Maybe I'll bring it back. I don't know.
Or maybe you'll reinvent it.
Yeah, or maybe I'll reinvent it in some other way. I have actually been trying to think of how I could do that, but I'm not really sure. I mean, there is something else I could do, but I don't want to. And that is sew-alongs. You know, Stephanie does those very successfully. And I feel that I'm stepping on Stephanie's territory if I was to do something like that. Also,
I don't think you like doing sew-alongs.
I don't like doing sew-alongs. I don't like doing sew-alongs because people will ask me questions and I don't necessarily have the answer, or I'm not confident enough to give you the answer for something like that. So that's why I don't do sew-alongs. Also, sew-alongs are a commitment, a major commitment, because they have to be done on a regular basis. You know, that's what I was saying earlier about the one that Stephanie and I are going to be working on. And life happens to all of us. And if I commit to something, I commit. And at the risk of it becoming somewhat detrimental to me. So yeah, that's why I don't do sew-alongs at all. And you don't need a sew-along from me. You really don't. Not when you've got people like Stephanie out there and Shannon, and even Russ with his 11s and things like that. You don't need another sew-along at all. There's lots of opportunity for quality sew-alongs already in existence right now. Karen says, I think you have a great balance of topics, Stephen. Well, thank you, Karen. Debrava wants to know, do you ever use Brothers Scan and Cut for cutting? I have one, a really old one of the first models, and I have tried and I have not had a great deal of luck with it. And to be honest, I don't need it. I have a Cricut as well that has a rotary blade function on it, which has never worked since the day that I bought it properly. And I've tried all kinds of things with it. But to be honest, when it comes to cutting appliques, unless you're doing a lot of appliques, I don't see the point bothering for me to, you know, solve the issues that I'm having with the Brothers Scan and Cut, or with the Cricut for that matter. So my answer is no. I have used the Scan and Cut starting an applique Halloween quilt May 8th. Yeah. There are lots of people that use the Scan and Cut very successfully. I don't know why I'm not so successful with it, but I think part of the thing is because I'm not prepared to dedicate the time and the effort it will take for me to perfect its use. I used my Scan and Cut quite a bit when I was a paper crafter, and then I moved my way to a Cricut, and I used that a lot. I've had 4 Cricuts in my time. My latest one is sitting here off to the side. You can't see it. I haven't turned it on to do anything with it in years, basically, with it, because I don't do paper crafting anymore. So, yeah. Sue says, you're going to mess up my Monday morning schedule. I might have to actually get off the sofa and do something productive. Nice to know I put you in a comatose way. There, Sue. So anyways, we'll see. I do kind of hate to give it up, but I have to think about it. Do I hate giving it up because it's just become part of my routine? And sometimes you need to shake up your routine. Or, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm going to try this. I'll see. Maybe I'll go back to it. Maybe I'll have a brilliant idea about how to revamp it all and redo it or something. I don't know. But so far, nothing's coming to me. Melissa says, what was the name of the machine embroidery group in Western Canada that you referenced before? Was that a Facebook group? Yes, it is a Facebook group. It's called the Atlantic Embroiderers. Atlantic Coast Embroiderers is what it's called. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Atlantic Coast Embroiderers. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you guys want to talk about? It's free for all Sunday in the time that's left, because I can't think of anything else to tell you. Suffering from COVID brain this week. We've talked all about Australia. That's boring. Move on. Walter has an exciting life. He lives in a virtual world. He's on the computer all day long. Lynn says, I have a fabric mat and rotary blade for my SNC. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Haven't had a lot of success with it. It's me. Okay. I know lots of people have lots of success. There's tons of videos about it. The whole bit. It's me.
What's that? SNC?
Scan and cut.
Oh.
Yeah. Not Saturday night crunchies. I don't know. Teresa, hi all, late to the party. Yeah, so what's new, Teresa? You're always late. Okay, penalty. If you're late, you now have to tell us a deep and dark secret. Yeah. Something juicy. Let's see. Anything else this week besides being sick? All right, thank you. Oh, Teresa says, if you want to sell your cricket, let me know. Yeah, well, I don't. Nope. I'm not selling it. I still have it because you never know. One of these days,
you'll need it.
I may need it for something. And the day that I need it for something is the day that I got rid of it. So, yeah, no, not selling it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to talk about. So if you guys aren't coming up with something, this is going to be an early one today. I'll wait. Charlotte says, I told my son this morning that I would be attending your retreat on Saturday. He's a goofball. He asked why it wasn't called an advance. He was trying to be funny wasn't he, Charlotte? Mm-hmm. Did you drop him when he was a baby? Lynn says, Walter should start a sewing channel in his spare time. No. Oh, here we go. He takes Stephen's Monday spot. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You should do tutorials on how to make shirts and things like. Yeah.
No.
People have asked him to do that so many times, and what's your answer?
No.
No. He says all the time.
I don't have as bubbly a personality as you.
Well, that's for certain. Yeah, bubbly. He'd get so frustrated. Somebody would ask him a question and he'd go, look, you idiot. Get out. That's what he'd say.
Jan wants to know if you ordered a vacuum.
No, Jan, we did not order one of those yet. We came close. I almost had him thinking it wasn't bad. But then we thought, no, because Jan... we're waiting to see how much longer you love yours. Because I know, Jan, you always leave out details. Yeah.
Show us how you sew shirts.
Yeah, no, he won't do it. He won't do it. Not for tutorials, just to sew together.
No.
No, he won't do that either. He's on the pop-up sew days, though. Usually. So when I have those, so, you know, you could sew with him then. Of course, he doesn't come until later on because he's not out of bed. Karen says, I just want to learn to make PJ pants for my hubby.
You're not learning them from me because I don't make those.
And I absolutely hate them. And I've got
they wouldn't be hard to make. You just buy a pattern and you serge them up on one side and up the other side.
Now I'm going to say something's going to get them all upset and all controversial. The truth be, only women want their husbands in PJ pants. The men themselves don't want them on. They don't want them. Yeah. But you're going to tell me now, my husband absolutely loves them. He wants me to make him some. He's telling you that because it's easier to tell you that what he thinks you want to hear, so he doesn't have to fight with you. Okay? So, yeah. Jan's floors are gorgeous. And speaking of bubbly, I need some Prosecco for Friday night. What? Oh, I was going to say, what's on Friday night that you're drinking? And then I realized, oh, yeah, you'll be with us. Okay. That's not Prosecco. Sounds like a good idea. Walter's a champagne slut. So, yeah, we have a bottle of champagne upstairs still. Of sorts.
We still do.
Yes, we do. You haven't put your little lips around that one yet. And sucked it back. So, yeah. So, okay. I think we're flogging a dead horse right now, people.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to cut our losses here and say goodnight to everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Sorry we didn't have something a little bit more structured, but that we could go off topic on. But COVID brain, that's what it was. So hopefully next week will be more inspiring, if we can be. So everybody have a great week. Hope you're all feeling good. Make something wonderful for yourselves. And we'll see you on the other videos next week. Say goodbye, Walter.